All righty. So I want to be start on time because we want to value everybody's time here. So I'm Doria Stewart from Atlanta, Georgia, and I have my wonderful partner, Cindy Reed from Nashville, Tennessee. And we welcome you to Nurse Talk. We created this platform for people to be educated on this new cellular health technology. And then also give you an opportunity to hear testimonials of how this has impacted people's lives. So we thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be with us this evening. Each week, we're blessed to have a guest that we are interview. And this evening, we have Jerry Yerke. And so Cindy will interview him later after our testimonies and showing you a tool, a video about this technology. So we're excited about that. You'll have an opportunity to ask him some questions at the end of his testimony. And then just a few housekeeping rules. We do record this. We do upload it on our Redox Nurse Talk channel on YouTube. So if you're going to be away from your computer, we ask that you will, stop your video so that, it's kind of distracting. I get easily distracted. So if you could do that, we would appreciate that. And then also we have a disclaimer that we need to share because if we share our testimonies, we just want to let you know that this is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any medical health condition. So I want to introduce Cindy. I want her to just share her testimony on how this technology crossed her path and how it's impacted her life.
Thank you, Doria, very much. I appreciate that. So I am a nurse here in Nashville, Tennessee, and when I ran across this, I had just moved here in 2019, and Barbie Bassett actually posted a little teaser on LinkedIn. And at that point, I was searching for alternative methods to manage my health because I was not completely satisfied with traditional medicine. So I had tested positive for 4 autoimmune challenges, let's say. And so when she told me this was non-toxic, native to your body, no side effects, that was all I needed to hear. So I've been on the product 4 years almost, and I've seen some wonderful results. My sleep is better. My energy is awesome. And I'm not a coffee drinker. So that keeps me going for sure. And then I've had improvements with my challenges. At the moment, I'm not on any medications, so just supplements. And the second part of that is the fact that you can actually make money for this. And the fact that I've met the company and the leaders and the people, it's the ethos that drew me in. It is the passion that these people have. And so now this is my passion and I want to share it with the world. And I want that work-life balance and the time freedom that it can afford. So that's my testimony. Doria, you want to give yours?
Yes. So like I said, I live in Georgia. I've been a nurse for 41 years. I have worked in the arena of medical surgical nursing and psychiatry, and now presently still working as a nurse. I love nursing. I work 3 days a week in a gastroenterology clinic. And this was brought to me by a friend who is a dentist. And so when I was first introduced to it, I thought, this is kind of intriguing. I don't know, I really see a need for it. I'm kind of healthy and but I thought, well, I trust my friend. Let's just take a deep dive and look at this. And when I looked, like Cindy said, when I realized that this works at the cellular level, and a lot of people don't realize that health conditions start at the cellular level, and it can take 7 years for people to actually have symptoms that will cause them, to go to a doctor. So, being non-toxic, I'm all about health promotion. I was 64 at the time I was introduced to this. I wasn't on any medications, and I decided, I want to live long and a healthy and I have a life of vitality. So I started on the product, and I think I was deceiving myself because when we age, we think, oh, we just have to deal with these issues with aches and pains in our joints and, less sleep and less energy. And when I was on the product, I would say in the first 3 days, I slept through the night, 8 hours through the night. And I hadn't done that in 30 years. I also, all the discomfort in my joints went away within 30 days. And, even being on the product for the last 4 years, my eyesight, I still on readers, they keep going down from 3.25 down to 1.25 now. And I have a lot of energy. So this is something I know I'll be on the rest of my life is, we have to take our health in our own hands and we can't depend on anyone else. So I will continue to share this product with as many people as I can. I will take it the rest of my life. And I'm so thankful that my friend shared this with me.
Thank you, Doria. So we're going to have an amazing guest on tonight. You will want to listen, and take notes, and learn from him. Jerry Yerke is definitely a pro in this area in the field of network marketing and sharing and global businesses in general. So I will read an amazing bio in a few moments. So first, we're going to go to a short video that's actually put on by one of his friends, Dan Doyle, and we will hear that and his testimonial a little bit about the business, and then we will introduce Jerry. So give me one moment to share the screen.
Hi there, my name's Dan Doyle and I'm from Sydney, Australia. My background is in building and selling traditional businesses. I did this short video to tell you about something that's really important to you and your families, really important to me, and something that I'm very, very passionate about. I'm going to talk to you about a breakthrough. Not just any breakthrough, but the biggest breakthrough in health in our lifetime. Something that returned my health from two major health challenges. I believe that you, your loved ones, your family and your friends need to know about this technology. I'm going to talk to you about a company called ASEA. ASEA is the only complete cellular health company in the world, and what they have done is stabilized redox signaling molecules outside of our body, the exact same molecules that signal our bodies to heal itself. The groundbreaking breakthrough that is native to our bodies, it's what our bodies are producing anyway. This could have a massive positive impact on your health, on anti-aging, on an even human performance. It's scientifically impossible not to work. Everybody is lacking in it and everybody needs it. Stop producing these molecules right now and you'll only have a few more breaths left in your body. It's 100% safe, it's non-toxic, validated by science, patent protected, there's no copycats and zero competition. This technology is 15 years ahead of its time, and science said it was impossible to produce these molecules outside of our bodies. ASEA is a network marketing company, and what they've done, they've given anybody and everybody the ability to share their life-changing products and to be able to build a residual income. From my experience in traditional business, network marketing is the best business model on the planet. When you're looking at aligning yourself with a company, there's several things to take into consideration. A lot of companies will tick 2 boxes, 3 boxes, and if you're lucky, 4 out of 5 boxes. What you're going to find is ASEA has turned the network marketing model into the best business model in the world. ASEA ticks every single box. Our founders came from running Fortune 50 companies, upper level management, and they're strategic business planning experts. Corporate leadership has over 200 years experience, not just in network marketing companies, but also traditional business. Our field leadership will be amongst the most experienced in the world. We have the biggest breakthrough in health, anti-aging, and sports performance in our lifetime. There's no supplement out there. There's no technology on the planet that can do what these amazing little molecules can do for the human body. As a matter of fact, for animals, for plants, for any living thing in the world. We have the most lucrative compensation plan out of any company in this industry. It is balanced and is very, very generous. ASEA's ethos, principles and values, their ethical intention to get this technology to the world and create a solid, sustainable business that will be around for generations to come. All of this making ASEA the most compelling business opportunity in the world right now. So get back to the person that shared this video with you and take your life and your health to a whole new level. This is a significant opportunity to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. Thank you so much for listening.
Most
Well,
people have no
hang
clue
on,
that
here
in
we go.
2023, the best way to make money on
Not letting
Amazon
me
is
stop
not
it.
with physical products. It's Amazon's other company, Audible. Audible pays me
Okay, it's not letting me go back to our regular screen. There we go. Okay. Oh, I thought we would get through this one this time, but apparently not. Okay. Stop share. All right. Okay. That's a wonderful video. I love that. I just discovered it. Doria sent it to me. So we love looking for different types of testimonials of videos to share with everyone, just to kind of give you a different perspective. So I like that one. So now we have an amazing guest. I'm so excited to have Jerry, and we're so honored to have Jerry to take his time because, you know, he's a pretty important person in this world and with ASEA. So I'm going to read his bio. It's very impressive, so I don't want to miss anything. So I'm just going to read through it and then we will start. After Jerry speaks, we will have a time for question and answers. So keep yourself muted until afterwards, and then we will share and have time for that as well. Okay. So Jerry embarked on his business journey in 1980, a time of explosive growth in the franchise industry. For 16 years, he skillfully owned and operated the largest Domino's franchise in Nevada, capitalizing on multiple distribution points and continuously seeking avenues for expansion. However, Jerry's vision stretched beyond local and state boundaries. He pondered a potential of a global distribution model, a venture that would yield a 24/7 income stream transcending geographical confines. That's a nice thought. In 1994, a trusted friend introduced Jerry to the concept of network marketing, illuminating the path toward a truly global business model. Over the ensuing 2 years, he meticulously developed an exit strategy from the franchise world, directing his focus exclusively toward a global network marketing enterprise. As Jerry effectively led a thriving team of global distributors while residing in Southeast Asia, an invitation beckoned him into an executive role. In 2000, he assumed executive responsibilities across multiple global network marketing companies, traversing the corporate offices of cities like New York, Miami, Tokyo, Dubai, Austria, and Germany, among others. In 2008, amidst a pivotal company launch, fate intervened as Jerry crossed paths with Denise Cato, his now beloved wife, his everything. Their serendipitous encounter underscores the unpredictability of business conventions, leading to a journey of partnership that thrived both personally and professionally. For more than 15 years, Denise has served as Jerry's indispensable executive assistant, possessing the acumen to potentially run 95% of network marketing companies in existence today. As a shining role model to 3 children and a life partner of unparalleled support, Denise embodies the quintessential partner. What a tribute, Denise. That's wonderful. In 2013, Jerry ascended to the role of Chief Network Officer for the Americas, a period that forged connections with industry luminaries like Dan Doyle, Mal Sword, John Bash, and Ed Wings. These friendships, nurtured over time, would serve as a catalyst for the next chapter in his life. Amidst executive tenures with various global enterprises, Jerry and Denise sensed an intangible void, a sentiment best articulated by Jerry. We were hopeful that every new company would be the one. And yet each time we were let down by decisions made out of their control. We knew there had to be a unique company built on integrity, principles, a company ethos, and a company soul. Upon departing from this organization, our 4 cherished companions that we mentioned found their haven in ASEA. Meanwhile, Denise and Jerry persevered with their executive capacities, steering the helm of various global network marketing companies. The turning point arrived in April 2022, a month that marked a significant shift in Jerry and Denise's trajectory. Tuning into the ASEA Las Vegas convention online, an invitation extended by Dan Doyle, they proved to be transformative. As the words of Tyler Norton resonated, Jerry uttered a phrase that never before escaped his lips in over 2 decades. Quote, "I believe I want to become an associate in ASEA." So on May the 6th, 2022, Jerry and Denise solidified this sentiment by officially enrolling as associates with ASEA. Aftermath of this decision has indelibly altered Jerry and Denise's lives. Denise poignantly expresses, quote, until ASEA, our true passion and purpose had remained elusive within any other organization. We recognize ourselves as fortunate and privileged members of the ASEA family, entrusted with the authentic gift, and that's in quotes, of instilling hope in those who have little or no hope. Our journey is illuminated by the remarkable individuals who have joined our team, united in the quest to make a difference, buoyed by the inspiration drawn from the extraordinary aspirational leadership. We are so thankful for Vertus, Tyler, the exceptional executive team, dedicated staff, and our ASEA world-class field leaders. Thank you, Dan, for sharing both yourself and the gift of ASEA. Our existence now brims with fervor and meaning, and a life with resounding passion and purpose, a life built upon the words, we power potential. That is so awesome. I love it. So, Jerry, I want you to I'm going to have questions, so I'll just get you started. Feel free just to run with it. And again, like, if you don't answer all my questions while you're talking, we can ask them later, but I want you to just have the freedom to do what you would like. So I'm just going to start with, where were you when ASEA crossed your path?
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today, and I've had the extreme pleasure of meeting Doria, several people that are on this Zoom I know personally very well as some friends we haven't met yet, but look forward to that at our global convention. Really honored to be here. That would have to go back 8 years. There was a company that Denise and I served as executives, a global company based out of Austria. And that's where I met the four gentlemen that were named in that in the bio. And even though we left around the same time, we kept in contact. And the one that would reach out to me, and I don't believe in accidents, it was always at the time when Denise and I were in between corporate roles, corporate executive roles with companies. And it was just meant to be. And that was Dan Doyle. And we would meet briefly. He would give me the invitation to join, Denise and I join as associates with ASEA. I had not thought about being an associate. I've been an executive. So I would always answer back, well, do they have any openings? What can we do? Let's get an interview going. Because I studied the company, and when you are a part of the industry on the executive side, you get to evaluate companies at a much different level than, let's just say, most people do. You know who the owners are, you know who the executives are. In many cases, you know the top field leadership, and because we cross paths. But Dan dripped on me 3 different times, 3 different exact times. And finally, in April of last year, we were in between positions. We were looking at each other, Denise and I, what are we going to do now? It was, if you remember, the pandemic and post and pre and everything we're going through, and a lot of companies were scaling back, but that had nothing to do with our decision. It was just the right time in the right place. And quite frankly, it was Tyler Norton. When I saw him on stage, within a couple of minutes, I knew of him, but I didn't know him personally. But to hear him speak at a level that, quite frankly, I hadn't heard in 30 plus years, I knew something was very special. And Ed Weens told me over and over again, oh, ASEA is unique. You can't imagine they're unique. Well, guess what? I've said that for 20 some years all around the world of the company that we were represented. But I knew at that instance, and wow, I almost got choked up there. That's when we knew. So it came within our lives several different times. I know this will lead to other questions, but I'm thinking about it. So if you don't mind, I'm a very impatient person. I, like some men that are very competitive. We want results right now. We can't wait for tomorrow. That's just the way some of us are built. And this beautiful business and this beautiful company has really shared with me personally how to develop that in many different ways. My point is, when I get maybe just the very small inkling, maybe you do too, you share a seal with somebody, you do a pretty great job at doing it, you bring your upline involved, that third party confirmation, everything is done right. And then of course, what happens afterwards? Some will, some won't. So what? Somebody's waiting. And at the end of the day, what I'm really learned over this last 14 to 16 months is I said no for 8 years. So just keep dripping. Don't give up on someone. Do exactly what Tyler shared with all of us a week ago on that incredible Zoom. And that is to respect where they are, no matter if it's your brother or sister, that brother that just, doesn't believe in our industry as well as our product. Don't give up, just drip, because they're watching. And it took me 8 years. So don't give up.
Sorry about that. I had to find the mouse. Okay, part of these you answered already. The next question was, so since you were in network marketing already, what drew you to ASEA? I think you just pretty much explained that. Tyler, yeah, it's something about Tyler, and you can see his heart that you can't help but get emotional when you attend conventions and you really get into it. It's just awesome. Okay, here's one. So did you ever think when you were younger, we'll go back several years, maybe a couple of decades, right? And see, did you ever imagine yourself doing network marketing when you got out of college or school, thinking about careers?
Great question. Being born and raised in Michigan, there is a global company, still number one. It starts with an A, and it touched every aspect of our lives in the state of Michigan. We owe a tremendous amount, all of us, every company in the industry owes a tremendous amount to what that company stood for, what they've gone through, how they've suffered, and how they have been championed. So that's amazing, but I never thought about it. However, being in the franchise industry, as you spoke about in the bio, I understood distribution. And it got to a point after several $1 million of an investment, living in stores, multiple, hundreds of employees, great company. But I had bigger desires and bigger goals and dreams of global distribution. So when a dear friend, notice the words, dear friend, like Doria mentioned, shared this industry, a different company, it's not even in business anymore, but shared global distribution to me, that was it. And haven't left it since. In fact, that person probably left a year or two after that, as well as did many others that I've come in contact with, but it has served us well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't realize that company was in Michigan that you were speaking of. So what would you say some of the advantages are, or what are the advantages of network marketing? And you may have kind of touched on part of that previously.
Let's see. You said 2 hours. We have 2 hours on the Zoom.
Yeah. Sure.
The advantages. There's so many. It would take a long time.
Just hit the highlights, yeah.
Okay. The highlights is we're in the people business. And I'll share maybe 2 or 3 total. We're in the relationship business, and I believe even more so, what I've really come to love and appreciate, we're in the storytelling business. Denise and I live literally a stone throw to Hollywood, to Burbank Studios, to UCLA theaters, to, where movies are being made. And they're in the storytelling business. That's what they do. There's no question about it. This industry and especially with ASEA, we're in the storytelling business. There's stories on this Zoom. There's new stories to be created. There are stories like my dear friend, Barbara Stoltz. She's a story. There are so many. So the love for impacting, having a small part in people's lives all around the world, and it can be global. There's no question about it. Spending a lot of time. I just got back from Cairo, was asked to speak at just an industry event, talk about inspiration, talk about the ethos. And if I could say, Cindy, and thanks for bringing that up, here's the difference. In almost 30 years, I never heard the word ethos from the highest level of the industry on the corporate side, the executive side. And when Dan Doyle said ethos to me 8 years ago, I shook my head like I knew what he was talking about, flat out. And when I got home, the first thing I asked Denise was, what in the world is ethos? I'd never heard of it. So here we are in this special, amazing, unique company, and there's none like it, in my opinion. We have ethos, we have a soul. So storytelling, having the opportunity to impact and change lives, there's nothing like it. I think of the two of you, you're nurses. The few times I've spent some time in the hospital, the most respect, unbelievable respect for what you folks do. And I believe that everybody on this Zoom has the ability to impact other lives at that same level through ASEA.
I agree. And that's what I say a lot. With this product and this company, Dory and I both feel like that we have the ability to change more lives than we ever could in the field of nursing because we're not limited to anything or anybody. So that's what I love about this. So I have one more question that I'm going to let Doria ask hers, and then we'll open up for whatever. I don't want to take up all the time. So if someone were young or just older, but looking into this, what's the biggest piece of advice you would give someone who's looking at doing network marketing?
I'm glad you phrased the question of just network marketing. Is that correct? Not necessarily ASEA.
Right.
A mentor of mine told me, when you give an opinion, understand it's just an opinion. It might be right for some people. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's just my experience, Denise and I, for many, many years. We have been fortunate enough to be executives of startup companies, probably more than I would like to share or admit. And there's a reason for that. Some medium companies as far as success and revenue. By the way, ASEA is number 43 in the world. That's something we can all be very, very proud of. I am, knowing, how that all works. All the way up to $1 billion company. Every company in the industry sets their goal at, and they use the word billion. What I love about ASEA is, and when I say Tyler, that means Chuck, that means Scott, Frank, Daryl, that means all of them. They don't talk about the B word, the billion. It's going to happen. They're more interested in the people business. And that's what we love about ASEA. So what I would share with somebody, young, old, medium, maybe he hasn't had experience in the industry, from my experience, and when I say my, I'm talking about Denise and I, stability. There is no stability in a startup. I probably get prospected once, twice, maybe 5 times a day on people sending a text with just a link. And I can talk for hours on that, how that's not how you prospect people or share a company, but they're all talking about the latest and greatest, the shiny coin over here, the shiny over here. That's not what we were looking for. We were looking for stability. 14 years, just as the video and Dan shared in the video, a product, no competition. We're ahead of the game. We own the space. So I look for, first off, and even above that is leadership. It all starts and ends with the leadership. And I can say with all certainty, and Doria heard me share this in Chicago, in our experience, this is our experience, we've never seen anybody in the industry with Tyler and his father's vision and how they put this company together. Never have seen it. So you got to look at leadership, product, and not in any necessary order. However, compensation, in my opinion, is last. Product, people, field leadership, tools, and the comp plan. I mean, at the end of the day, the comp plan is great. I happen to think we have the best one. However, straight across the board, thousands of company, they're all pretty relative. There's only so many things you can do. I just think we happen to have the best one. So hopefully that touched on a few of those. And that would be our advice on somebody looking at a company.
Yes,
Hopefully that helps.
it did. I agree with you completely. And I'm like you, when I first heard the term ethos, I didn't know what it was either. We'd never heard of that in the corporate world. And corporate world and ASEA are like night and day. So I won't even go down that road. Doria, I'm going to let her ask her questions and then we'll open it up for everyone else.
Yeah, so I just have one question, and this is coming from a nurse perspective in the health field. You're on, successful as you are, in your bio, and even now with ASEA, because you're a global leader and you're going to be speaking at convention. And so, from a personal perspective, physically, what has this done for you?
Thanks for asking. I'd like to answer two ways. I love listening to Alan Noble share his early beginnings with ASEA. He didn't have a personal experience. And what I love about what he shares is because many people, probably 90% that are on this Zoom right now, we've had a personal experience. So that's wonderful because we can share that. His, if you've heard his story, was about his daughters and his wife, which goes to show you, you can be one of the top income earners, you can be one of the top leaders in global ASEA and not necessarily have your own personal story. There's several people on our team, and we're all on the same team, but people that we've been able to share ASEA with directly, that we use Dan Doyle's story all the time, our own, but we talk about Dan. It's compelling. It has changed thousands of lives around the world. So for myself personal, I'll make it very quick. I have a vascular challenge. I've had it for over 30 years. Very serious, but yet millions and millions of people, usually 40 years and older, have the exact same thing. Should have died twice on airplanes as I was traveling around the world. I think there was a plan for me to still be here to share ASEA, but it was a vascular situation. And quite frankly, I'm on medication, have been. The two times that I did have serious issues is when a couple of friends told me not to take that medication. It's bad for you. It kills rats. You can come up with your own, assumption of what that is. And bottom line is on day 50, and I'm sharing this because we like to manage, Denise and I and the people that we've come in contact with, we like to manage expectations and say, don't try it for a week. If you're going to do that, it's not going to help you, because some people will have immediate results. Some people in the first week, some people 30, as nurses. Mine was on day 50. And when I physically and visibly looked at the insides of my legs, and they were no longer black and blue, the color of my shirt, but now they're almost normal, about the skin color of when you have a birthmark. And on day 50, almost to the day, that happened. And that just turned my whole certainty around. So Personally, that was huge.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay, does anyone have questions for Jerry? This is awesome, and I don't want it to end until we answer everyone's questions. So raise your hand or unmute. Dory, you might can see. Okay, looks like Barbara. There's Barbara.
Hi, Jerry. This is Barbara from Indianapolis.
Yes, I know
Um,
that.
Hi, honey. Just wanted to know what some of your favorite tools are to use to share this business.
It's a great question. I have to answer it this way, and a couple of people on this Zoom are going to laugh, but they totally understand it. When I introduced Denise, as I did to both Doria and you, Barbara, she wasn't there, but I was introducing you. She's the ultimate partner in business, all business, specifically ASEA. So I'm very fortunate. I'm not a techie person. What you went through, Cindy, at the beginning of this call, that's me every single day. I like to think that I'm a high-tech person. I'm not. There's several things, Barbara, as you know, because we're LinkedIn partners. We are power partners on Facebook. For me, it is the tools. And I'll go back to Alan Noble. If I could just put in a plug, he's not on this call. There's no need for me to say this other than we have world-class tools. And for the first time in the last 22 years, Denise and I did not have to build those tools from scratch. Even the larger companies, they didn't have apps. We had to come in and help. Because of one person specifically, we have everything. Personally, Denise built a wonderful link tree for me. I use it every single day because I want to share with everybody, this company has so much because of the product, the biotech aspect of it, that you could spend 24 hours a day for the next 3 years. You still wouldn't watch all the videos. So it needs to be short because I have a very short attention span. So I like to think everybody's like that too. So a link tree with maybe 3 or 4, those are the tools that I use. Having Dan Doyle as our partner, Jim Richardson, Brad, several people that are on this call using them as third-party confirmation, welcome calls. Those are the tools that we use on a daily basis. Redox 5, probably one of the best I've ever seen. It's one of our favorites for sure. And of course, Nurse Talk. I mean, doesn't get any better than Nurse Talk. So those are the tools, and I'm sure I'm leaving a couple out, Barbara, but
Thanks for sharing.
Any other questions? Come on. This is your time to ask the master. Don't be shy. Somebody has to have a question. Of course, if several of these are yours, Jerry, they know all the answers, right?
I've got a question.
Okay, go ahead, Dad.
So Jerry, you've been in the industry for a long time. You've worked with lots of people, those who have networking experience, those who have none. Now that you're building it in the field, again, kind of from scratch, I guess you'd say, because you had, it's a different world than it was before. Do you find for you that you have more luck reaching out to people who have networking experience, or are you specifically looking for entrepreneurs? Or how is it that you're doing your prospecting with intention and, not just haphazardly going about it?
Great question. Thank you. And that reminds me, Cindy, I think there was a couple other questions, like maybe a frustration or something to that effect. To answer your question, Thad, it's a balance. Here's what I already shared with you. I don't have very much when it comes to patience. I'm learning that aspect because it is important. But there's a lot of pressure. For an example, oh, Jerry, you've been in the industry for X amount of years. You're going to kill it. You should be diamond within a week, within 2 weeks, which brings me to this point. And this is what I really had to learn. And I'm sharing it with you to encourage you on this one fact. Denise and I are platinum. We haven't reached diamond yet. Obviously, it's our goal. We're not freaking out about it. It's going to take time. We understand that. But here's what I want to share, most importantly of it all. Don't judge yourself, your chapter 1, with somebody else's chapter 10. Since we've said yes to ASEA, we've watched and have seen people achieve the diamond rank and above within a very short period of time. And we congratulate, we cheer, we're happy for that, because that's totally exciting. But that's maybe not your journey. So for us, it's not to compare, because that will drive you crazy. So just be you. I read something that it reminded me of this. I love to read different quotes. Simon Sinek is one of my favorite. And I think it was yesterday. When in doubt, just be you. So Thad, we need you to be you. Cindy, we need Cindy to be Cindy. So it's a combination. We've had to start over. And when we were in the corporate industry or corporate side of the industry, we weren't building individual teams. We weren't building our own team. We were building a company team. So we both have had to learn the LinkedIn, building back relationships. So for me, it's been an incredible, for us, it's been an incredible journey of reaching out to new and older relationships, catching up, not slamming them, like a freight train or a truck about a SIA. You have to build the relationship and the trust. Just be you. I mean, look at what we have, what Barbara, can you imagine Barbara in 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 years from now? She's going to have a global team. She's going to be impacting lives around the world. We just need Barbara to be Barbara. So hopefully that answered your question in one form or another. Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't be in a rush. Just be you.
I
Right,
think I
Jim?
saw a message in the chat from Denise. Doria, can you read that?
It says, what books have you read recently that you would recommend for inspiration and mindset?
She already knows the answer. That's why she asked this. I've shared this about 3 different Zooms today, and I'm going to show you the book. How are we doing on time? Do you have a 3-minute, 5-minute story?
You're great. Go ahead. Or
Okay,
you just talk. Oh, you just don't want time while you look for it?
No, I have it in front of me. It's always with me.
You're good. Yeah.
Here's the story. This is kudos to Tyler Norton, and I'm going to share a secret with you. Tyler is like none other. He really is. And because of that, he's assembled an incredible team. So when we talk about the executive team, we're talking about all of them. He has a photographic memory. Some of you have seen that in person when it comes to remembering names. What I've really admired in how he inspired me personally is words. There's a term called etymology, and there's a person on this call that hopefully is smiling from ear to ear. It's called etymology, E-T-Y-mology, and that's the study of words. And when I heard Tyler, maybe in person 4 or 5 times now, going to be in Salt Lake City next week for another event. He's always sharing different words, what they mean. I've never heard a founder say the soul of the company. I've never heard a founder talk about the ethos. Never heard a founder say what the real meaning is of opportunity. I've heard the word opportunity slung around, overused around the world so much, but very few people know what it means. And Tyler shared what it means. So when I was with him last time at an event, I pulled him aside and I said, I'm dying for some new words. Just share a couple words with me. And give me a second. He shared a book, and I won't tell the whole story because I'm going to share a little bit of it at convention. He shared this book with me, and he shared it in a way let me see, I'm going to turn my my blur off so everybody can see it. And it's called Aspire. And I had never heard of it. And it's written by a gentleman by the name of Kevin Hall. And I probably shared this book with anybody that will listen over the last 6 weeks that he shared it with me. And in this book, this author, Kevin Hall, is sharing with all of us what etymology is. And he will take you on a path of literally about 100 words, from passion, humility, inspiration, expiration, and the list goes on and on, purpose, humility. I'm just thinking of some highlights right now. And as you can see, we've got a couple of tabs and a couple of things. And this book has inspired me. And if I could, I'll share something with you. What does inspired mean? And I love that the title is called Aspire, because I believe everybody on this call aspires to be greater, bigger, be more, so that you can become more, everything of the ethos of our company, and impact people. Maybe you aspire to be an Alan Noble. Maybe you aspire to be a Tyler Norton or a Dan Doyle or any of Trish Schwinkler, any of the great leaders, and there's so many of them. That's what we aspire to be, and they inspire us. But Kevin Hall in the book shares with us what inspire actually means. And it really is you're breathing into. And as Cindy is listening to inspiration, she's actually breathing in those words and that message and being inspired for that. So there's a couple of words that really meant a lot from this book. They all do, but coming back and seeing what happened in Cairo was my second time to the pyramids, about 4 or 5 times in Cairo. And when you think of what they built 2,000 years ago, it's a direct analogy of what Vertus and Tyler has given to us in this gift called ASEA. And so fortunately, it's an honor. I'm going to share just a couple of words that you're going to hear in regards to that. Brad now knows what Genshai means, and Namaste, and Sapare Verdare, which is my 2 new favorite words, what they truly mean. So for Thad and Paulette and Eric and Don and everybody on this Zoom, I highly recommend it, because it will empower you, is what I want to say. It'll encourage you. It's amazing. So, and it just so happens, the author of the book called me last week and we spoke for 35 minutes. I'm going to get to meet him next week. And it's just been a gift to us. So great question, Denise. Thank you. She's upstairs right now.
That is awesome. That's just another thing, Jerry, that shows what this business can do. It's opening up worlds for you and for us to meet people we would have never crossed paths with without, you meet a person who knows a person who knows a person. And that's how we share. But at the same time, that's how we build relationships, and that's how we grow, because we learn from each other. That's amazing. I can't wait to get the book and go to convention.
It's
Yeah, for
amazing.
sure.
It really is. It really is.
The 3 words that they always talk about is believe, belong, and become, and the believe is believing, it maybe in yourself, but also this gift of hope, but also belong, because that's a big part of who I am. I'm very relational, and I'm so thankful that, that Cindy and I crossed paths, even though we're not on the same team, or Thad, and Barbara's been so instrumental. Barbara's been backing us up with Redox and believing us, to do this, and then becoming, so it's really becoming, the person, like you said, Jerry, and who God has created you to be. And even though you think, like I was thinking, I just had a birthday a week ago.
Yeah.
I'm 67, and I'm thinking, like, okay, who do I want to be when I grow up? I haven't really, made it there yet. So I love that. I love that book, and I'm just going to have to get that. I'll probably order that tonight on Amazon. But
Uh,
this has been so wonderful. I know a lot of the people that are on the call are probably associates, but if you are a guest and you have someone
Yeah.
that invited you to this Zoom this evening, please get back to that person that invited you. We have, like Jerry said, we have some awesome tools, and every time we have our Zoom, we share one differently. We thought it would be kind of neat to share Dan Doyle because, Jerry knows him, but there's different tools that we can use, or you can see to know more about this, technology. So we're on every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And next week we have Austin Kimmel. He's a grandson of Donalyn Dominguez. So this month we have been concentrating on business and hearing business testimonials. And the last part of this month, we have Lee Osler on the 29th. So please go to our nurse channel, Redox Nurse Talk channel on YouTube, and you'll see how many videos do we have up there, Cindy?
I've lost track. I'm not really sure. It's actually a work in progress. We're still tweaking some things, so be patient with us.
Yes.
We're working on it. We're learning.
So thank you for being with us. And Jerry, thank you so much. You were just such an inspiration to us. What an honor it was for you to take time out of your busy schedule to speak with us.
It's definitely our pleasure. And if I could just, on behalf of everybody on this Zoom, thank you to the two of you for what you do. You'll understand it in the book. It's about passion and what that means. And I just want to say thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Jerry. This has been amazing. And I do appreciate your time because, like I said, you have vast knowledge, and I'm sure you could be doing something different if you wanted to. But we appreciate you spending time with us. And I learned a lot from your talk tonight, and very inspiring.
I did have one last thing, Denise. I know she's the woman behind Jerry Yerke, and I'm sure she has a wonderful testimony. So I extend an invitation to you to come and be our guest on Nurse Talk sometime.
Thank you, Daria. Happy to. Wonderful call, and we're glad to be back. And now you're on our radar, so I love it. We'll be inviting guests and team members to join on this evening.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, everyone have a good night, and we will have this up on Nurse Talk by tomorrow, hopefully, barring any technical challenges. Have a good night, everyone. I'm going to stop the recording.
Good night. Thank you.
See you guys.